Today we're going to share with you the Garden Master Rose Planting Mix, which has been specially formulated by the guys from Garden Master to make sure that your roses are going to get the best start and continue to do so once they're in the ground. So let's take a look at what it's all about. Comes in a 30 dm bag. Folks, it is a well-composted bark-based mixture. In it, I can see some drainage, which is in the form of fine river sand. The color is good, the structure is good. How do I know that the structure is good? Because, of course, of this trick. Remember, if we can do that, and I open my hand, and you see it's actually keeping form and shape, then I know that there's a lot of good organic material in here, which, of course, is the basis for all good living bacteria. The beauty about this product is that it can be used in planting roses in containers or in the ground, and it can also get used as a spring mulching top-up. Right, folks, so let's go through the basics of planting a rose in a container. Very importantly is the size of the container that you use. Always ensure that it is bigger than the bag that you buy the rose in. Do not choose one of those pots that are narrow at the top and then go wide at the base. Not a good idea. Their feeding roots are generally quite surface orientated, which means that this pot, take a look at it, wider at the top, narrow at the base. Perfect. Even if it was straight down, that would also suit the job just perfectly. First up, drainage hole, always really important. I'm just going to be covering it with some gravel. I've got some coarse gravel chips here because all it's doing is just helping with extra drainage and also that the soil doesn't end up escaping out that drainage hole. First off, what I want to do is take a bit of my rose planting mixture. The trick is that we do not want to disturb these roots. So with a pair of scissors, choose a spot, and all I want you to do is just slide it down, and then you can open it up, and there we see its beautiful roots. Now, next thing that I want you to do is we take this guy, and to make life quite simple, all I'm going to do is guide it along the base. But I've got the base, and that's holding everything. So ideally, you want to grab this guy as he is, take him and pop him here to have a look at your height. Okay, we're losing a bit at the top, but that's okay because you notice there weren't any roots there. So you're fine because this is still a young plant. So I can immediately see, and this is my number one mistake that happens. Look at the height of where the rose is, and if I run it level, look where my pot is. Ideally, he should be level or just below that, okay? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna take this little guy out. Take him out, but remember, we still got the plastic underneath it. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna take this little bit out underneath here. And while I'm doing that, you will notice that I've left a bit behind, but those roots are all still there. They're looking beautiful. From here, in he goes. And immediately we have got the right planting height. Once you've got the correct height and you're confident with that, remember which is just below the top of the pot, whilst also making sure that that bud union is not covered. Then you fill the pot with your rose planting mix. And as you're doing so, just firm it around gently and get it into all the areas within the pot. Then, to finish it all off, use the Garden Master Decorative Bark as a mulch. The bark helps with a whole lot of things. It retains moisture in the soil by reducing the sun's evaporation, and it also helps cool the roots. Remember, we said that the roots are really surface driven on most roses. It also reduces weed growth, which is a big bonus in gardening, and helps to keep the nutrients leaching out of the soil. And just the same as using the rose planting mix in containers, so too do we use it when planting roses in the garden. Now, I've got a lovely big hole here, at least twice the width, and we've got some good depth, When we're talking about good depth, at least 40 to 50 centimeters is what you want. Very, very similar process, except one or two tricks. What I first want to do is just check my levels out. So I take my bag, pop it in there. Right, I know that I'm about 100% because there's my level. So I know that I just need to add a wee bit of mix in order to get my rose at the right height. What I am going to do is I'm going to add in 1 or 2 handfuls of all-purpose organic fertilizer. Now what this is going to do, much like we fed the rose in the container, it's going to give the plant the right nutrition when those roots start seeking and going places. Right, I know I need to add a little bit of my rose mixture. I've popped it into a trug to make life a little bit easier. Pop in a bit of that. Right, that should do the trick. Let's level it out. Right, and then it comes to the rose. Exactly the same. Take your scissors round the side and over here. So I take the whole plant, pop it in there, simply peel off. There we go. Peel it off, pop it onto its side. Now, exactly as in the previous rose that we planted, a lot of the topsoil has literally fallen away. But you will notice that there are no roots there. So we're actually fine. The main root ball, take a look at that. There it is intact. Beautiful white feeder roots, healthy plant, which means we've got a good start happening here. Once he's in place, next step, to take our rose planting mix and simply just feed it round. Nice and easy. Now, take your fingers and all you're going to do is that. And you'll notice how that pile of soil is all of a sudden just disappearing because we're just getting it in there, firming it round, but not squashing it. Last part is, of course, the important mulch. And mulch, we know, has so many good benefits. You know, there's something about mulch, it just finishes it off. Not only is it giving us all those important qualities of moisture retention, of keeping weeds at bay, of protecting the soil, but it also looks good as well. And all you need now is a really good drink, and we're good to go. The rose planting mix can also get used in your annual maintenance of your roses. So in other words, when you're going to be doing either your winter pruning or a good feeding or just simply a good mulching. So multiple purposes to keep your roses in tip-top shape. One bag can be applied with 2 large established roses. Final maintenance, of course, is 1 or 2 handfuls of Garden Master all-purpose organic, and these pellets are going to give it a really good feeding, and this rose is going to be on its way for a good summer blooming. So folks, for all things roses, whether we're planting them in the ground, whether they're in containers, or whether we're doing some annual maintenance, use the Garden Master Rose Mix. It does the job for many things to keep our roses looking perfect. Remember, everything that I have used is available at your local builder store or online. Check out the blog because there's some great videos and great content to turn you into a green-fingered guru. Get to Builders and get it done.